world map, and the two games
Yeah.
could not be more different. That's their only point
Oh
of
yeah,
similarity.
dude.
Well,
I
I am flying through
whipped
space.
I whipped through about the first 30 pages of your screenplay. By the way,
Oh, nice.
uh,
You started it on
it's
that?
much better. Yeah, it's much
Great.
better
Oh,
already.
good.
I love the beginning. The beginning's like, yep, that's a movie. You know what I mean? Like
That's
it feels
awesome
like,
to
oh
hear.
great, what a movie. It's like here we go. Also it also explains the deeper problem in a way that you don't need to like hang a lantern on.
Yeah, well, your
Which is it's
feedback
not the
was heavily
yeah.
involved.
That's great. I mean, yeah, it's not that it's a furry, it's that he's like doesn't know how to connect to his dad. His dad doesn't know how to like have a son. It's great,
Yeah, we made them
you
both
know?
fucked up instead.
Yeah,
Not
but in
fucked
like a
up, but at the
totally
beginning of an arc. Yeah.
yeah, flawed, yeah. They need to grow. Yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely gonna finish it in the next couple of days, I bet.
Ooh. We submitted
Yeah.
it for 3 Blacklist ratings, so we'll see what we get.
What does that mean?
You know, the Blacklist?
I mean, I know what it is, but what does three ratings mean?
Uh, you tend to, you can pay for them to rate it, and if it gets, well, like the last draft that you read, maybe 2 years ago or whatever, uh,
Hmm.
got a 6.5. I think if you get an 8 or above, it generates a lot of buzz. Dave had, that's how he got kitten options, was through
Right,
Blacklist.
right.
So we're trying that, but that's obviously, we're fully, I mean, it'll be great if they give it a high rating. Hi, Reese Hover. Welcome. But if they say it sucks, we're still going to make it. Because we think it's good now.
Right, right.
But I'm glad we waited and did another draft, and I'm glad it's 90 pages instead of 130 pages.
I mean, from minute one, it's clearly better.
Yeah.
Also, slight pitch. Maybe those like flashbacks could all be in the sort of like comic booky art style that furries ingest,
Mmm.
instead of being like a
Instead of home
series of
movies.
different home movies, which may
Yeah, that's
actually
a
be
thought.
challenging to convincingly do.
Yeah, I don't. Well, there are two explicitly animated set pieces that I don't think you would have gotten to yet. And I'm already wondering, yeah, who's gonna animate these? Although, man, do you remember back in the day, Norm, who did
Of course, I remember Norm.
Disney Princess, and yeah, he's good. I
Yes,
wonder if he's still working.
I was the one that dealt with Norm on Disney Princess.
Yeah, and he did Seven
Him
Deadly
and Rachel
Sins
Bloom.
of online
Yep.
gaming and
I thought he did a
the
really good
iPhone
job
one.
with
I thought
that.
he did beautiful
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought his work on the Seven Deadly Sins was fucking great. Yeah, the Disney Princess one that was going to be a shoot to start. We were gonna
That would have
literally.
been a fun shoot.
Well, I told you what happened. Like I was like, so Rachel Bloom was like, can we make it a shoot? And I was like, yeah. We're just gonna have to rent one of those green screen treadmill things. So like,
Yeah.
I go to Oren and I'm like, yo, listen, man, this is what that's gonna take. And he's like, no, we're not doing that. It's like, because the cost of it was just so high. I was like, so Rachel, can it be all animated? And it was all animated.
Oh, people on my stream are rightfully wondering what is going on, so I will. Can I describe this game to you, Adam?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
Because you said you'd never heard of it. This
I have not.
is Sunless Skies, which is a very meditative and methodical, mostly text-based game about captaining a train that flies through the sky in an alternate reality that's sort of a mix of Lovecraft and H.G. Wells, and
Fucking everything's Lovecraft these days.
London exists in the sky now, and you fly around in a train. Doing all sorts of stuff, following up on missions and paying, or uh, using economic systems to your advantage, etc. Reminds me of a really old Mac game I used to really love called Escape Velocity.
Hmm.
You ever play Escape Velocity? Really, really like Star Trek sim.
No,
Pretty
I have not.
good.
I did kind of dick around a little bit with Sundered the other day,
Yeah,
which
Sunder's
I know you like. Yeah,
creepy as shit because that's based on Beksinski, who is my. I
yeah,
like him better than Geiger. He's like my Geiger.
it is cool. Oh my god, I forgot how good this game is.
But yeah, most of this game you
For shooting.
spend silently traversing the sky from one port to another. Yeah, it's Giger. We've retconned it. It's now Giger, Dr. Seuss, and Vincent van Gogh. Those are all true. Or I've heard that those
Van
are
Gogh?
correct.
Oh
Yeah,
fuck.
he would have pronounced his own name Van Gogh. Someone
Uh,
told me that.
uh.
All
Hey,
right.
is your boy ZR who's gonna be on the podcast? He said his address is gonna be nuked. Is that because he's leaving?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
I'll
going
leave it
over
at
to.
that.
He's hopping to Twitch. And
Oh,
I
really?
guess we'll leave it there. I don't think that's enough for anyone to triangulate anything that'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
me
it's
in
okay.
trouble.
Yeah,
And it'll be
yeah, yeah,
public
yeah.
soon. Actually, he tweeted about it, so it's fine.
Okay.
What do they need?
Yeah,
Verdant
I just
seeds. 5 sacks of verdant seeds. But I'm not going to Titania. Sorry.
no, it's all good, man.
Anything else new in your world, my friend?
Cody and I are pretty close to having a draft we can send out
Yes.
of that thing. So there's that. I actually, if I use my week well, there's a chance I might have a draft to send out of the other one too.
Nice.
The
Wait.
noir thing. That's finally starting to
Oh,
come
oh,
together.
not the Invisible Man one.
That's that I didn't. I
What's
kind
that called? The
of
Specialist?
finished
I forget the name. Sorry.
the freelancer. No, it's all good.
Freelancer. Yeah.
Freelancer. That I kind of feel like we are at a good place with it.
Yeah.
Um, did you read the version where it was the girlfriend that ended up that woke up with him?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that was a big change we made.
That's cool. I like
Yeah, I
that.
think it kind of made the whole movie better.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, okay, so like that's what this was really all about, you know? Somebody kind of said it in like a round of notes. They're like, I just kind of wish it was this. And then like Greg and I were both like,
We're
oh
like,
my god, of
that's good
course
with
it should be
me.
that.
Yeah, that works.
Well, it was
I
like,
like
that's
that.
like, what the fuck have we been doing? Like, that's like obviously the thing it should be.
Nice.
And then once we fixed it, we were like, oh, this movie got way better. So at least that's how we feel.
Yeah. Commenter in my stream saying they're excited because I tweeted about the screenplay. Just want to point out, if you head over to patreon.com/smallbeans, I don't know why you'd
Yeah.
want to do this, but you can listen from beginning to end to the 30-hour and change process of Abe and I writing the entire script. We recorded the whole thing.
Yeah,
For
why
some
did you
reason.
choose to do that?
Oh, because, well, we're devoted to making this movie happen, whether we get Hollywood's permission or not. So that's going to involve a lot of grassroots fundraising, we anticipate, and we want this to be an ongoing concern that more and more real-world people are excited for and care about, so that the day will come when we try to get money from some of them. You know what I mean? We
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to keep
yeah, yeah.
buzz up and treat it like an adventure that we're all on with a bunch of behind-the-scenes shit, not like, okay, we're going away now, and if the powers that be approve, we'll be back with a movie years from now. We're like,
Right, right, right.
we're gonna share the script
Like,
on
this is our
Patreon,
movie.
and yeah, this is our movie, and everyone's
You're a
gonna,
part of it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Smart. I had a friend ask me to grip this next week.
oh,
I'm gonna do it. So I was like, Fucking really?
That's fun. I like gripping.
It's just like, yeah, it's like him and me on a small shoot. I think he just like needed somebody who knows what he's doing, you know.
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, dude, I don't think I've done that in like 10 years, man. He was like, yeah, it's all good. It's like pretty low stress. I just figured you'd have fun. He's like, I would have fun.
I shan't forget you, Amber Fox. Oh, we also need all of our fans who are actual furries and have fursuits to be involved, because that's how we're going to sell that convention sequence.
How many furries do you think we have as fans?
Well, not just fans, but, you know, it's based on my
People
dad,
who
and
would.
he
Right.
really is prominent in the fur community, so there's a chance that we'll be able to talk to some of the people that run some of the fur conventions and get permission to shoot more easily than I think other people would.
I think if they read the script, from what I can tell, they'll appreciate it.
Yeah, I think so. In fact, even when we got the 6.5 from the old bloated draft, I think that balance was there. Only if anything, it was too far pro furry.
That was my note.
No, I wasn't assuming you were a furry, Amber. I'm sorry if I... Oh, because your name's Fox? I see it. But we
Sometimes,
will need our furs. Not that
Yeah.
there's anything wrong with that. A microcosm of the whole arc of the film just happened for one of my commenters.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Well, their last name's Fox, so they were like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, furry fans. And they're like, by the way, I'm not a furry. Not that there's anything wrong with being a furry. I'm just
Right.
not.
Yeah, furry is perfect for that Seinfeld bit, right?
Which
Like,
is the balance that we land on in the film. Yeah,
right,
like, you haven't gotten to this
right.
line yet, but Ahmed at the end sums it up in a way I like, which she's like, where are you? I hear people. And he goes, I'm at a furry thing with Trey. Oh, what's that like? Way creative. Kind of dumb. And that is, I think that about sums up my actual feelings on it.
Yeah.
It ain't hurting nobody.
Yeah.
Yes, contrarian. Every aspect of furriness that I think you can think of is brought up thoroughly. And
That's a
then
lot to
some.
ask for a movie.
That's true. I'm sure that's not true. Like there are definitely substratas of subculture that, you know, like I'm sure there's hardcore furs who are like, you didn't cover my weird corner of furriness, and that's like, yeah, well the movie only goes
I mean, yeah.
so
What do you
long.
want me to do, bro? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a selection of pop culture. Zell from my chat says hello because he is unable
Hi,
to
Zell.
access YouTube chat.
Oh no.
That's the last bit of courier work I'm going to do for you, Zell. That's it.
It's the
I
last
hope
time
you
you
are
put a knife in me,
satisfied.
Zell. Oh
That's the
no!
last time you put a knife in me. You hear me?
We need barrels of unseasoned hours to spin a protective cocoon around our locomotives, so we'll have to go back to Port
God, video
Prosper and
games
buy
sound
unseasoned hours.
terrible. When you
What?
summarize what you need, when you summarize a thing you need to do in a video game, it just sounds terrible.
We have to
We
return
need
from the Albion Transit
fun time.
Relay to Port Prosper in order to pick up a barrel of unseasoned hours to make a time cocoon for our sky locomotive.
That is a
That's
fucking
all
escort
true.
mission on its own right there. That's an escort mission right there.
Well, that's because I'm a weird guy who likes weird stuff, and this game has a lot of. So I end up playing a lot of games that have weird specifics, because that's the kind of shit I really like.
You know, Disco Elysium would have made a fucking great
Mm.
escort mission.
Yes.
Like,
What
were you
even
just
are you
describing
doing?
the
Shut up, I'm
bullshit you're doing?
arguing with this kid.
Yeah. Are you getting anywhere? No. Not really.
Well, let's see.
He's a he's
Rolls
a
the
he's a
dice.
hard he's a
No.
hard case.
All right, we got to
Who's that
jettison some
girl?
shit.
Kunette. That's not a real name. Probably
Yeah,
not.
yeah, there's no way. Kuno S? I think it's Kuno S.
Yeah, Kunette. That's not a real name. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Jettison. Jettison some fuel and some goods. Yep. All right. So now we have room in our hold. We can buy unseasoned hours. so we can transport to the. This is our current world map stream, and we're gonna transport to a different world map.
Like Greg could have gotten so fucking worked up over the politics in Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
That would have been
Oh,
really.
that's
That would
true.
have been very funny. That would have been very very funny.
Did you hear what happened to Greg?
He
His
got
new
some
gig?
gig, right?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah.
I think I did in private. Is it public knowledge yet or no?
I don't know. I'm bad about that,
Then
so I
don't say
guess
it.
I
Don't
won't
say
say.
it. Don't
Okay.
say it. Yeah, yeah.
But
I know he got a gig, and I know when I heard what it was like, oh fuck.
he's the personal writing assistant, which means like he bounces his ideas off of him and he helps him write his new material of a
Yes, yes, yes,
very,
yes,
very
yes, yes.
legendary comedian, which is really cool.
Yes, that's correct. You got it, Zell, you maniac.
Oh, this game is kind of like GTA 1 and 2, just slower paced. That's true. It's a top-down, drive around an area, get stuff done game.
I was genuinely hoping that I could talk you into doing a GTA 4
Well, someone
watch
over
and
here
shit.
just pointed out that we still need to do an XCOM style game, which I agree. On 1-ups, I mean.
We'll get there.
Maybe
Yeah.
Mario, the new Mario plus Rabbids looks pretty dope, honestly.
Is
Have you
that
seen that?
XCOM
Sparks of Hope?
style? I have the first one. I didn't play it through, but
It's XCOM style, but they're doing something interesting where, although there was another game that no one's heard of called Other Side that did this already, but instead of moving in a grid system, you can move any arbitrary distance, and your like move points run out more holistically, more organically as you run around. It's like a combination of actual
is it essentially like a
platforming.
board game?
No, XCOM is more like a board game. They're making it less rigid. They're making it a cross between a board game and actual 3D Mario game.
Yes, I can
All
tell
right.
that my Ganzo sense is up.
That you'll hate it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
The graphics
But
look
you know,
good,
I try shit I don't like. I do that all the
which
time.
is a pretty facile thing to say about a game, but still.
I mean, graphics at this point, it's like who cares? Kind
Well,
of.
when we tip over into a new generation, I like to see something that makes me feel like I'm in the new generation. So that the
Agreed.
graphics are good for that. Like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is not
It looks fucking awesome though.
very redeemable, but it looks so great. It
Yeah.
was enjoyable enough to be in just because I was like, there's the PS5 doing something,
Yep.
showing off.
I
There
agree.
we go.
It looked really good. Um, I didn't dislike that game. I like that game.
Are we gonna cover that? I think we are with
Yeah, we
Jason.
are. Yeah, we are. Yeah, yeah, with Jason. Yeah. I'll leave it at that because I griped a lot about it on my stream, but I think my stream probably thought I was lower on it than I am.
I was ready to hate it, and I didn't hate it.
No, yeah, yeah.
It was a lot more ambitious than the last one.
Hating
A lot more.
hating that game is an unreasonable point of view
I
to me.
just, well, I think hating the previous game is not unreasonable. Only
Oh,
because
great! I'm excited to talk about that. You
I
mean the
hate,
2016 remake? Is that
yeah,
what you mean?
that's what I mean.
Okay, okay, great.
I think it's worth hating puerile children's content that has no message or content, that is completely hollow. The story of that game is disgracefully empty and soulless, and we live in a post-Pixar universe now. Like, just because something is clean and for kids does not mean it has to just be like, Captain Quark's a big buffoon. Oh no, Dr. Evil got the thing that makes the universe be sad. Let's go make everyone happy. Okay, we defeated Dr. Evil. It's like, kids are smarter than that. Even kids are smarter than this.
It's
I
very
hated
A
the
to B.
story of Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, okay, great.
Damie, thank you very much.
I have a different
Card
problem with
carrying
Ratchet and
small
Clank
things.
in general
Patron.
than you probably will.
I'm gonna break open a sky coffin. I succeeded. Ooh.
Oh shit! Did I just win this thing finally? Oh yeah!
I've
Fucking
condemned.
won!
I've obtained a condemned experiment. Oh, I'm gonna blow up this monitor so my stream can see some action. Plus, I
Oh,
just
there's a
leveled up my
row.
guns.
Look at that shit. Oh, yeah. Looking great. The people on my stream will remain eternally angry at Ratchet Clank 1 for giving you a jetpack and then taking it away.
In the
Which,
subsequent installments, sure.
no, in the subsequent levels. Like, they give it to you in a level and then you don't get it back. And it's like
Oh,
my stream was very upset about that.
dang! I've tried Undertale over and over, and I only ever get five
I don't
hours
like that
in.
either. I don't
I
like it.
un my understanding is that it's a brilliant deconstruction and subversion of like gaming itself and storytelling. And I see the promise, like the battle system. I see the irreverence, but I not. It just never grabs me enough to get to the end of that game. I want to finish Undertale, and I never do, which I bet makes someone sad. Probably Damie. But we're
Oh, so
almost
you love
to
that?
Woolstonbury Juxton Mare at the floating parliament. They suggested that we cover Undertale on one-upsmanship, and I agree that it would be a thing that we should cover because I think it's artistically of note in gaming. And I don't know why it hasn't grabbed me. I will try it again.
Alright, I'll put it on my list again.
Have you ever played it?
I gave it a shot a while ago. It's a couple years old, right? Am I
Yeah.
wrong about? Yeah. I've tried a bunch more indie games than I realized. I've also tried a bunch of like mid-tier games that kind of bear discussion, like Bayonetta and
Mm,
like that whole genre of games. You know?
wait. But Woolstonbury Juxton Mare is where I'm taking the panes of glass. Panes of stained glass. I have 5. Worldbury Juxton Mare. Oh, lies to the east-northeast of London. Oh, we have to go into undiscovered territory, y'all.
That's how this shit works, dude.
Okay, so east-northeast. So we're going somewhere over here. East-northeast. We're going somewhere over here.
God,
Okay,
nothing is better
fuck.
than the shooting in Destiny.
It's like
The
butter.
shooting in Destiny is the best. It looks
Pressing the wrong
good. It
button.
feels good. It's just, I just think I think I might have maxed out on this game though. I don't know if there's any real reason to go back.
Or like your neuroreceptors can't release any more dopamine related to it. It's all
I don't
used
think
up.
I can. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like I've done it. You know, like I know this shit. I feel like I'm doing the same shit over and over and over again.
Well, you are. I mean, they can only make so much content.
Right. Yeah. That's like for this concept to work, it wouldn't be economically feasible.
In this economy,
In any
Destiny.
economy.
Is there gonna be is there big stuff on the horizon or Destiny 3 or
Yeah,
anything
they're
like
gonna
that?
have an expansion next year.
Okay.
Um, usually
Not
they have
near
one
my
in
locomotive.
September. It's like usually it would be like a month or two away from a big expansion, but because of COVID, they stalled into next year basically,
Sure.
which I think means maybe we're going to get a larger installment. I hope. We're kind of due for a larger installment. Like my
Yeah,
understanding
for
is
real.
that this installment we got last year, combined with this next one, is actually like supposed to be Destiny 3, which is, you know, that's a lot of fucking material, so I don't know.
Really should have repaired my ride. I love that 30 odd people are watching this boring game. I titled the stream, This Game is Boring.
30
I warned you
people.
not to
Jeez.
watch this.
Jeez. I'm trying to think what else I've been playing of late.
Have you played Sludge Life?
No, man, you're always playing these weird ass games. No, I haven't played it. I did a full playthrough of Breath of the Wild again
Oh
on
boy.
stream. Really, I fucking loved it. I wish I could play that game forever. Uh, that's the third time I played that game too.
Uh-oh. This tentacled train is following us. But that's okay. We're at the bit between in the Brabazon work world.
Did you say that you liked Valhalla?
AC Valhalla?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And I could not get into it.
Really?
Uh, yeah, I did. I
I
got about
thought it
5
was
hours. And I was like,
fine.
this is fucking boring.
I thought it was as fine as those games are always fine, other than a rare exception like 2.
Or Odyssey, I thought was very good.
Uh, Odyssey was just so grindy I could never get... After 10 hours, I was like, I'm not leveling up as fast as I want to. This game's going to be like 1,000 hours
Yeah,
long. This is not
yeah.
worth it to me.
It was definitely a very long game. Um, Also, 4. Assassin's Creed 4 is the only one that feels like it deserves to be covered on our podcast again at some point.
Yeah. Have you played, shit, I forget. Someone commented, but it's gone. Now all I can think about are the delicious meatballs Jen is making.
But they're not meat, right? They're
Oh
impossible
yeah.
balls, right?
No, they're meat.
Oh, I thought you guys are vegetarian or vegan.
It changes frequently. Now we're on this
I
crazy
see.
diet where we can only eat cruciferous vegetables and protein. So you kind of have to eat meat because you can't have rice or beans or nuts or berries or...
H Bean is asking, am I right that y'all haven't done any Souls games on the podcast? You are correct, but I'm pleased to inform you that will no longer be true very, very soon.
That's right. We can say which one, right?
I guess we can.
We're covering
We're gonna
Bloodborne,
cover. We're
people.
covering Bloodborne.
Bloody, bloody Bloodborne. Finally.
Yep. We've been talking for 2 years about covering that game, and we finally are in the right spot to do it.
I was comforted by looking through our list and realizing, no, we got a lot. Or I was like, there's still a ton of games we could cover, for sure, that we haven't.
Dude, we haven't even done 100 games.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
someone was asking, where is your list of 200 games that did make the hard drive? Is that a definitive list that's out somewhere? And I'm like, we would have to have 200 episodes first.
yeah,
We
we would
ain't
have
even
to
close, baby.
at least that. Like
Oh
we
yeah,
don't.
and if we're grumps, so it's probably more, if you're talking only games that were unanimously saved, it's probably like what, a third of what we cover?
Yeah. Jared Petty of IGN fame has a podcast that is basically just his top 100 games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I haven't listened to it, but I thought that was interesting. Like that was like, oh, that's a contest. That's a concept that rivals ours to some degree.
Yeah, that's fun. People
But
like big round numbers.
yeah, but you know he's gonna have to revise it and shit. It's like, I don't know.
All right, let's choose a facet so I can walk people through my...
One-upsmanship, in theory, as long as we're having fun doing it and as long as it's financially reasonable, it could go on until one of
Doesn't
us dies.
self-terminate. It's true.
Yeah,
Then we just go back to the save point.
that's right.
Uh,
Play on forever.
so one of my favorite aspects of this game is that, of course, it's as much... You get out as much imagination as you put into it. So I've created an elaborate backstory for my character wrapping around the facets that I've gained. So my dude is an academic, but was thrown out of academia due to a scandal involving his
Oh,
lost love. So I think it's safe to interpolate that he hooked up with one of his professors. He grew up on the smoggy
oh,
streets and underwent a metamorphosis. So I'm going to define that metamorphosis in my headcanon as that's when he went from, being a ragamuffin to an academia guy, like you wanted to prove that he was
to a
smart because he grew up in the
bragamuffin.
slums. That's right. And he did
Yeah.
prove it because while he was in academia, he produced a masterpiece. So we're going to say that's a hit book. But then it all fell apart, and he took the Queen's offer to settle the skies, became a train conductor. And what was Promise of Days? Oh, he helped lay the foundations of London. Okay, so our new facet that adds to our backstory. I can have been at the Battle of the Blockade of New Winchester. See, I think that's too many things to have happened in his life. I'm trying to keep it like a believable life. Like this one, the great game is you used to be a spy. I don't think I could be a ragamuffin and a bragamuffin and a spy.
It's a lot.
But this one vibes with what we've already got going. Black sheep, you never fitted in. You came to revel in your family's disappointment. Hmm. Or am I haunted, plagued by the past, by some guilt or sin or ordeal that will not let me rest? That's a good
I'm
one,
kind of wondering
too.
at what point we're gonna have to talk about some PC games.
Sludge Life is
I was,
PC.
oh, you're playing it on PC?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like Steam.
I don't.
I play
I
stuff on
don't play
Steam.
PC. Um,
So we'll level up hearts
it's,
and
it's just another. I don't want to spend another
fails.
$800 or whatever on a video game system. Um, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to relate to Dave or Abe at all without a PC. It's like, all right,
Well, what are they playing? I see Dave on PS a
they
lot.
fucking play everything. I don't think he's playing much. Let's say those two basically only play stuff on PC.
Yes, Marshall, I am in two D&D campaigns now. You ever play
You
D&D,
are
Gans? Yeah, someone asked
with
if I play
you.
D&D. Oh, yeah. I meant outside that, ever?
No, 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 no.
Not growing up,
I
you're
only
not
do it
doing.
because I only do it because I love you. That's the only reason.
Oh, buddy. I still
But
play.
out of, I know you love it. But out of that love was born Noman Cockwell.
That's true. I forget his voice, though.
It's like this,
Oh,
friends. That's
that's
what it
right.
means.
It's a big announcer voice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, when's that other thing that we recorded coming out?
Are you talking about the Alchemist thing?
No, well, no. No,
Beantown?
yeah, that's the thing. So I'm trying
Uh,
not to spoil stuff.
oh, you gotta ask Abe. I don't know. It's in his capable
Okay,
editing hands and has been for
got
some
it.
time. He apologized for the delay. I get he got some editing and directing work and he had to pay the bills, so he took the work.
Oh, he's direct. Good for him.
And that set his edit back. Yeah, I think he edited slash directed something again for the Costco guy, if you remember that story.
Yes, Sam. Yeah, I know that guy.
And again, he got the money, so he's happy he took the job, but he's like, it was weird. I don't know about that guy. And I agree with that assessment. I don't know about that guy. Not super profesh.
I don't think if he was, he'd be. Yeah. Anyway, I think they're more interested in the world than know the world.
Let's send our bat out to see if we can find Warlbury Juxton Mare, which is supposed to be east-northeast of London. It found nothing. Okay. Well, if we run out of gas, I'll die, and you can see what that's like. Adam, good advice in
Yeah, I'm
your
here.
chat. Shoot the thingy.
I
Solid
mean, you know.
advice.
Ooh, Prime Engram, love it.
Tomorrow I'm going to Detroit for 5 days.
And I'm going to Disneyland for 7 hours.
Oh,
Uh,
my brain filled in 7 days. And I was like, Jesus, man.
I would never do that. I'm going with Simone though. Remember Simone?
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
she and I are going.
Nice. Oh, boy. That's London, east northeast. So we need to go
Wait,
north.
so is it for work or for pleasure or for an interview
Yeah,
or?
visiting. No, it's our first flight since lockdown, and we're going to see some friends who live there. They just bought a working farm, 20 acre. They own 20 acres of land, and they have
Oh,
chickens and
damn.
goats and shit. It seems very paradisical.
That seems like right up your alley.
Yeah, I think I'll like it.
It's not
Uh,
no, it's not. It's not a date. Everyone, just to be clear. This friend is married.
although the dude of the couple we're going to see just recently dug into my past on the internet in a real way and is enamored of those are muskets and cracked and wants to shoot a sketch with me while we're there. I don't know if I want to do that. Might feel
Just
too
say
much
no.
like work. I
Just say
like
no.
making sketches, but
Yeah, but
I don't know.
so.
Whoa, that's creepy as hell and I love it.
I mean,
What the
you're gonna
fuck
end
is
up
that?
doing all the work on that. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna do a half-ass job. You're gonna want it to be good, and then you'll be the only one that can make it good. So then you're gonna put a bunch of work in so that everyone feels like they made a thing. I'm not a
Jeez.
prophet, my friend. I just know how shit works.
Yeah. I'm in a nasty area. Alright, I think this was a suicide run and we're gonna die, but that's okay, because it's almost meatball time. You ever been to Michigan, though?
I think I drove through Detroit, if I remember correctly,
I like
on
Detroit
a family
itself.
vacation. Yeah, yeah, I liked it too. I think we stopped at some diner, if I remember correctly. I definitely enjoyed that. What was the Crime Town podcast on their '90s mirror?
Wait, what?
So you know the podcast Crime Town.
No.
So Crime Town is it's like a really high end produced podcast that's kind of a documentary about like just crime in the city basically, like
Okay.
usually revolving around one set of like one particular criminal enterprise that they follow start to finish.
True
Um,
or
it's always
fiction?
true, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's always true. So the first season was like a mob thing, I want to say, like a mob thing that was like getting involved with the mayor. Like the mayor was involved in this mob thing, basically. The second season was about the mayor of Detroit, who ended up going to jail, and just a bunch of things like that. Farewell, Asking Seven.
yes! You guys, I did it. I hope this port sells gas, because we need gas bad. By asking. The belly. It's Woolbury Juxton Mare, a little beach resort town in the sky.
5 days in Detroit.
There's your screenplay.
I was gonna say that sounds like a screenplay.
So you're saying the building also? Is that a deck and a Bible and a pilot, or
deck.
just a pilot script,
It's a
or?
deck. It's a deck for sure, with illustrations, and we have one finished draft. We think on the next draft it'll be ready to send out for people to look at it.
That's awesome.
We feel pretty good about it. We feel pretty good. I think in a week or two we'll be in good shape there. And I'm reading through my noir script right now, and I'm not hating it, which means maybe it's starting to actually be all right.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a version of that.
No, it's never really been in very good shape. I'm hoping to do one more like sort of cleanup draft, and maybe lose some pages, and then it'll be ready for like, okay, guys, like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with this? You know what I mean? Like, tell me how to make this good or not. I've been working on that thing off and on for 3 years, basically.
I did a Google or a Gmail digging and realized Furry movie. I think it's been 5.5 years
Mm-hmm.
working on some version of that script. And I
But the
would say
funny thing, I mean,
last
that's like
time,
it's all misleading, right? Like, because
yeah,
you
because
could
like
say we've
when
been working on that fucking cowboy script for 8 years, right? Like,
exactly.
you know, yeah,
Lancer 4 asks, "What's the most amount of drafts you've gone through for a script?" And for me, it would be Kill Me Now because you also write drafts on set when the movie's being
right,
produced because you have to
right,
alter for problems that reality puts in your way.
correct.
So, because that one actually made it all the way through production, there were like 78 drafts. But a draft could be as simple as, "Oh, this character's name changed and he has to go left instead of right. Mike, can you rewrite it and print a new copy?" That kind of shit.
Yeah,
So like probably yeah, in the mid 70s.
but you probably really do like 10 or 15 versions of the script
I was gonna say if you mean major
that are like
drafts that are
tweaks.
different from each other, probably 10 or 15.
Yeah,
A fox-jawed man smartly dressed in cobalt takes notice and crooks a finger at you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mingling with the
and those kind of
proletariat.
games, I wish those kind of games appealed to me more than they do. I wish I could go back in time and like re-enjoy TIE Fighter the way I loved that fucking game when I played it the first time.
Did you give Squadrons a chance?
I did. It just didn't do it for me the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was hoping it would too, because I was like, man, I love TIE Fighter. Part of it is I don't like. I basically don't like any of the ships that got added after the original trilogy. Like they're all kind of dumb in some way or the other. Um, or I guess I feel less excited about piloting them.
Yeah.
You know. Um,
Oh no, Adam.
I'm here. I'm
Classic
listening.
video game problem.
What? What? What?
I have to pick clothes for the promenade. Should I
Okay.
have a dizzying cornucopia hat, a dress shirt of silk and cashmere, a finely tailored porcelain coat? Um,
Porcelain coat. Okay.
well, maybe I
Yeah, it's all
misread.
nonsense. I get it. Yeah.
A skirt, kilt, or bustle, fabulous footwear, avant-garde footwear. Those are all the options. If you choose
And you can
wrong, I
only wear
die.
one of those things.
I can only
So
it
like,
says
you c-
what key item do you want to base your outfit around?
I see. Okay. All right. I would say the porcelain jacket.
All right, I misread it just as on a porcelain mannequin, but it's a sumptuously
Oh,
designed
okay.
coat that's perfect just like you.
Well, yeah,
All right. Finely tailored coat. Let's see if Adam fucked us up.
probably.
Hmm.
I've also been watching Handmaid's Tale for the first time.
Oh, what do you think?
Okay, so I'm just gonna be honest with you. So my initial reaction was I got a little defensive about it. Like that was my initial feeling about it. Was like, this is a
On the
pretty
behalf of
gross.
your maleness? Like you mean you
No,
got
no, 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 no,
no?
not that. Actually, no, the church was the part that I got more like,
Oh, that makes sense.
come on,
Yeah.
like this is a little bit ridiculous. But then I stopped and thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, okay, wait a minute. What are they actually saying right now? And I realized, like, no, this is ISIS. You know, what I mean, like that's what this is. This is like a Christian ISIS. You know, like, and once I got my head
It is.
around that
It's like
idea,
if a terrorist cult won a big war and took over a chunk of
yes,
land. Yeah.
correct. And once I like got my head around that, and it was less like it was less satire in a way that bothered me,
Hmm.
you know. And then I felt very like fuck, you know. Uh, no, my maleness was not ever, honestly, never really offended by it.
Well, I'll say
It's just
this.
like, God, this feels
hmm
sad, you know, like it's so
That's my
sad, it's so
thing.
heavy.
That's my thing is that the book is a pretty short book, and it ends, of course, spoiler alert, if you're not aware of how stories work, like this would be terrible if you didn't end Handmaid's Tale this way. Like the society is dismantled, right? Like the evil,
Yeah, it
horrible
has to be,
society has
right?
to
Yeah,
fall. And so that to me carries its weight and is a statement written by a woman that is like,
yeah.
I get how it's girl power, like it's in touch with its femininity in a powerful way, including the special burdens that female facing people suffer. But when you turn that into a show and the show's a hit and it goes on and they start stretching the middle, it is just a parade. I'm like, how is this uplifting and
It's a parade
empowering
of
to women
cruelty.
anymore? It's just a
Yeah.
parade of women getting beaten and sexually assaulted over and over. And we're in the new season, and it's still just horrible shit happening to women only. And I'm like, I know at the end they'll all get their comeuppance, but I feel like the middle is not really pulling its weight as
I
far
don't
as being what
even.
it's supposed to be.
What is comeuppance in a situation like that?
Well, I'm just saying I believe the original book succeeded in making a point about using rape culture and treating it as shocking, but having a point. And
Yeah.
this arguably has the same point, and I think the first season definitely captures that. But now they're
Yeah.
doing that thing that big dramas do where they stretch the middle beats, and you can't do that with assault. Like, you can't, like, hey, let's throw in some extra assaults to keep the show going. You know what I mean? That's against what the
It's
show is for,
it's
in my
like doing a
mind.
show about the Holocaust and like trying to find
And you're
new
like, what's filler? I don't
interesting
know. Other
ways
ways
to
they could
yeah.
kill people. And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah.
what we're doing here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That actually does feel like an apt comparison because it is just a sort of ongoing cruel a parade of cruelty, right? Like it's like so dehumanizing. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, I see. So by the time the outfit I chose degrades, and when it degrades, I get kicked out of this decision tree. So I only have so many decisions I can make.
So like can I ask like this I'm a little afraid this question might sound terrible, but like
Hmm.
have we ever seen a society that self-imposed that level of cruelty on their own citizens and not on a captured culture?
I mean, I would argue female circumcision is pretty brutal.
Oh, it is. But like, yeah, I guess that's part. Bob Granville, which one are you thinking of?
Yeah, Bob Grenville, what culture do you think is fucked up and
No,
bad?
no, no. I'm not arguing. And I'm not. It's not a test.
Oh my
Pol
God.
Pot.
Yeah, Cambodia.
I don't know this that very well. So
Was just
okay.
saying people that killed their own people. I mean, the communist revolution killed a lot of Soviet citizens, uh, like the KGB era. What about,
Early
or I
modern witch
just,
panics in the Holy Roman Empire.
oh, witch panics. That's true. I want to read you
But I would
just one
still argue
sample of
that's not.
writing.
I would argue that the witch panic stuff
The moment
is
passed.
not entrenched. No, no, I'm happy to hear it.
It's too late. We're taking a donkey ride.
Okay, sorry. Like, if I'm not mistaken, it's not like a establishing a way of life that's oppressive. It's about like rooting out. It's like a purge, right? Like a Maoist purge,
Hmm.
right? Like, which is a little bit different because that's not because Gilead is like a systemic, established, permanent oppression. And that's like
Right.
so that's part of what makes it so horrifying. It's like my God, and like these people just live with it. You know, like they never. It's not even because it's wartime or because they're not really American or you know what I mean. Like the kind of stuff that normally you see that I would think. So forgive me if I'm ignorant. I have not. I don't know the Cambodian '70s. I'll look into that.
Well, you're ignorant of that thing. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. You know. I mean, I guess Mao Zedong did a little bit of this in the Cultural Revolution, right? But not in the same way.
A donkey is vomiting ropes of gray intestine onto the sand. Okay. That's good to know. Good to know.
Maybe what was Stalinist Russia like? Were they doing stuff like this?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the KGB. Come knock on your door and disappear you, man. Let's go to the beach.
But were they codifying? Was Stalin codifying oppression like that, or was it just like using the police for political enemies?
Political enemies, but my understanding is it's anyone who ever even remotely, disagreed
Dislike the
or,
guy, right? Yeah.
yeah, including
So then,
reporters
sort of
and
de
anyone teaching
facto the same,
seditious ideas and shit, yeah. But I don't,
right?
if you're asking, has there been a society where they're like, half the population are now slaves to the other half? I don't think
Yes,
so.
and you are going to be religiously raped,
But they do that.
and
I mean,
like,
the premise is that they resort to that because of the sci-fi children and men thing that's happening, right? No one can get pregnant. And then everyone in the show gets pregnant,
right.
which is weird.
Well, everyone in the show is fertile, right? Like we're yeah.
Worm
Anyway,
like growths
uh,
tuft through the sediment.
Elizabeth Moss's acting is astounding. It's like, oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
She's in everything now.
And well, she's fucking good. She's
She is
really
good.
good. Really, really good. I
They
mean,
sure like to
half
show
that
her
show is
run
just
in
a
slow
close up.
motion. Half the show is a shot of her face, and half the shot is her
Yep.
running in slow motion.
Like she has to carry so much on that show.
Yeah.
Like she has to do everything in her eyes. It's like, man, oh man, we've never asked so much from an actor. And forgive me, everybody, if that was an insensitive question. I did not mean it to be.
No, I don't want to do this again. Get out of Worldbury, Juxton Mayor. How do I get out of here? Return to the dock. Here we go. It was long. But man, yeah, I think I just like words. Like I literally like
Yeah, you like text.
I like text. The a game having lines like the donkey drooled a lascivious like tumors onto the gray sand. I'm like, I
It's
just
why
like
you
the way those
loved.
words fit together.
It's why you love Disco Elysium so much.
Yeah, this
Like
has writing
that's
that is
why.
similar,
Yeah,
similarly off kilt, or it's they put time into the word choice.
Disco Elysium is like a really well written prosaic experience.
So, what should I do next?
I will say though, we haven't actually talked about this yet, but I will say like I reflected more on some people's comments about whether or not the politics. The reason I didn't care about the politics was because of my insistence that they match American politics, or I
Mm-hmm.
guess California politics. I'm going to double down on this
You're
point.
like, I still
Because
think they're wrong and I'm
they are
right.
wrong. Yes, I do. I do think that, and I'll tell you why.
Good for you, man.
Because
Good for you.
good for you, man. Stand up for your bullshit. No. Here's
Die on
why.
that hill.
Seriously, because like people were like, well, go like look into Estonia and stuff. Okay, I could accept
Hey, I looked into
the
Estonia.
I did a little bit. I can accept the idea that like the politics don't have to match American politics. I agree with that, but I think everybody has to acknowledge on like a base entertainment level when you don't understand the politics, then it's no longer in narratively engaging. Like that's just a thing, right? So it's like unless you're gonna read a companion's guide, for instance, to Dante's
That's
Inferno,
like, these
you're not
developers
gonna.
are Estonian and here's the
Yeah, you're
situation
not going
there.
to
Yeah.
appreciate you're not going to appreciate the fact that he's putting the Pope from the 14th century or like a bunch of local
But I mean,
politicians in hell.
people have the right to make localized art,
A hundred
and it's
percent.
Just,
I have
but
the
then they
right to
released it
not
to you. They
connect
sold
to
it
it.
to you on your
Yes,
PS5. Yeah.
that's correct. I have the right to not connect to it. More so, even with that said, I do not believe the formats that those arguments take are representative of modern Estonian politics. I very sincerely doubt that they are having conversations in Estonia about phrenology.
Well, it's a
You know, like I
reduction
just
of
don't
it
think they're.
in the
Well,
sense,
that's what makes it not interesting. That
like
exact thing is what makes it not interesting.
Wizard of Oz was originally based on real politicians from the time. Like the Cowardly Lion was a senator that he was saying that senator's a coward. And no one knows that. No one gives a shit who the Cowardly Lion was supposed to be
That's
parodying. It's the same
well,
kind of deal.
but it would be the same deal if the Cowardly Lion was then talking about policies that were being debated meaningfully as though they were content, which he does not. That's the
Yeah, that's
thing,
true.
you know. Like, that's my, you know. I know we don't want to do another round on this. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I
I play
maintain this thing
disco
because
again.
I could play it again too. I have this thing where it's like, look, you know, it's not an argument about whether that stuff matters. It's an argument of whether that stuff is actually a narrative experience or not. And my argument is no, it's lore.
Yeah.
That's basically lore.
Well, I found
Anyways,
Skyhenge, but it's
oh, I'm
time
so
for me to
glad
go.
for you.
Man, I'm really glad I.
Did I rush you out? Did I rush
No,
you out
no,
of my
no, no, no,
doubling
no. It
down?
just is time. I know it's a short stream on my end. Sorry, everyone
It's okay.
watching on YouTube, but I just wanted to dip in and talk to Adam because I miss him so much.
Yeah, buddy. When are you
Yeah,
back in
buddy.
town?
Wednesday, next week.
You're in town Wednesday?
Oh, you mean when am I in your town? August.
Yeah, when? Yeah, my town. August.
August to film some stuff for
August.
work for Gamescom happening around
Okay.
August time, which
All
is
right.
the big German equivalent of E3.
We might get some game announcements there, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, and Sony will absolutely drop some kind of direct because they didn't attend E3 proper.
That's where we'll find out if Horizon Zero Dawn is actually coming out this year.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see some footage of God of War, like anything, just anything. Ooh, actually I'm gonna stay for a little bit because I got in a fight, a laser fight, and I died. Oh, good time to end the stream. With a
Great.
groan like a dying whale, your locomotive's hull buckles. The hull cracks, the sky pours in. Your only option is die. All right. The cold takes you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, stay safe out there. And if you did want more information about the screenplay we just finished that we're trying to turn into a thing and make our follow-up to Kill Me Now, patreon.com/smallbeans. Go check it out. Or head over to
Yeah.
twitch.tv/therealgans to see my boy continuing his
Demolishing a
stream,
boss right now.
where he'll be sniping some bosses in Destiny 2.
Maybe with a sword. We'll see.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Adam.
Bye. All right. Bye, buddy.